So a Nintendo Direct just happened, and it may as well have been a Pokemon Direct because the amount of Pokemon news that we received in this Nintendo Direct is kind of wild. But what if there's a reason for that? What's up everybody, it's NintenDomenic and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel, girl. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the most recent Nintendo Direct because we have a lot of stuff to talk about and I have a lot of stuff to fangirl over. We not only got a closer look at Legend ZA, but we also got new Mega Evolutions. We got the reveal of DLC for ZA, and we also got the reveal of a completely new Pokemon spin-off game that I am so excited for. If you're just as hyped and excited as I am to scream about some Pokemon news today, make sure to go down below by liking this video and hitting the subscribe button if you want to see more content just like this one, because girl, I scream about Pokemon all the time. This is not a new thing. If you like to sip on iced coffee and talk about Pokemon, this is the channel for you. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts and feelings to go through, but we are going to go section by section, one thing at a time, because my brain can't handle anything else. We first need to talk about our new Pokemon spin-off game before we dive into anything ZA, because that's where most of the subject is, but we need to talk about Pokopia for a second. Actually, way more than a second, because Pokopia, I was not expecting anything like this, because this was a game that I feel like so many of us have talked about for so long, having like an Animal Crossing style game, but with Pokemon as the characters and building your own place to live, and it looks adorable and cute and like everything I ever dreamed it would be, and I cannot wait to build my own place to live in game with all these Pokemon, and especially the fact that it looks like a Pokemon game, even the grass and down to the Pokemon centers and all the sprites for the Pokemon. It is so cute and exactly like I pictured it. Shout out to Robbie for short. I am so happy for you and Ditto in this time. I think that this is incredible, and I can't believe you kept it a secret for so long. This was a pretty big project to be working on behind the scenes. You kept a good secret, girl. I guess she signed an NDA. But just looking through this trailer a bit, there is a lot of exciting things. I not only think this is going to be an Animal Crossing-like experience of the cuteness of creating your own home and village, but also there might be a storyline to this, given the fact that we see Ditto in the beginning alone in its Pokeball and then exiting to see its trainer in a photo on a original Pokedex. What does this mean? What does it mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Are we gonna get some sort of like timeline here to where this is like a mystery dungeon world and Ditto got teleported, like some type of storyline like that? Or is this taking place in the actual Pokemon world and we're just in a separate area of it? Like, I need to know where we are and what's going on. Where did this Ditto come from? Where did this Pokedex come from? And what happened to Ditto's trainer? Is it the apocalypse? Is this the end of the world as we know it? I need to know these things. So you never know, there might be some super dark, intense storyline behind this cute, adorable game. I think one of the coolest things about this game is the fact that Ditto can learn all of these new moves and things to do that can help you benefit your life experience from other Pokemon. We saw it watering grass, we saw it growing grass, we saw it cutting down trees and punching things down. I think there's going to be a lot of fun opportunities and things to do, and I love that you learn it from other Pokemon. I do wonder if it's gonna be like Animal Crossing in the way of you can like pick your villagers and who lives in your town, how many Pokemon can you have in your town, what kind of structures can you build, because we saw that Pokemon centers were a thing, but I need to see what other kind of things we can do. I just think that the potential for this game is so limitless. The limit does not exist for this game, truly and honestly. There's so much that can be done about this, and I'm so happy and excited, and I think that out of any spin-off game they could have announced to be a new thing, this is something that people have been wanting for a very, very long time, and rightfully so, because I think this is going to be a smash hit. And speaking of Smash, can we talk about the fact that Ditto now has a massive amount of Smash potential to be a character if they ever were to do another one? I see it being very much like the Animal Crossing villager and just a lot of like pulling stuff out of nowhere and just a lot of random attacks. Like, Ditto has potential. That's insane to think about. So I can easily say that Pokopia is one of the things I am the most excited for in 2026. For me, it's pretty much gonna be like when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, and yes, we were all locked down in our bedrooms because it was the quarantine, but you know, I would have been locked in my bedroom anyway just playing that game all day because I was having so much fun doing it and I wanted to be there all the time. So if you're looking for me when Pokopia comes out, you know where I'll be. But we need to move on and talk about Pokemon Legends ZA. We got so much information in this that some may not have even realized, because there was a whole separate trailer that added a couple extra things onto it that we didn't even get in our Nintendo Direct. I found out afterwards that there was a longer trailer that was considered the final trailer for Legends ZA that just wasn't included. I don't know if they cut it down for time or they thought that we didn't want to see the whole thing, but girl, Nintendo, who do you think I am? You thought that I was watching this Direct and I didn't want to see all the information? Show me everything, girl. I want to see all of it. I am a greedy Pokemon fanboy. I want every little bit and crumb on that plate. I want there to be nothing left over, and the fact that you were holding out on me? But to talk about some more specific points with Legends ZA, we saw a lot of new added stuff. We saw a lot more outfits for the trainers and a lot more designs and looks, and I'm happy to see that it looks like the male trainers are going to be getting a lot of designs as well, because I know in a lot of Pokemon games it seems like the female identifying trainers usually get a lot more hairstyles, a lot more looks, a lot more fashion, and I'm so excited that fashion can be equal. Fashion is for everybody. You know, everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to look stylish. So I was happy to see that included. Another thing that wasn't really talked about in the one we got in the Direct is a new area, which is the catacombs, the underground of Lumiose, which a lot of people were hoping existed because it opens a whole new biome and different type of Pokemon that I feel like would so specifically be found in that area. And now it's confirmed that we're going to be getting one. And I think a lot of people were concerned about this game because it only takes place in Lumiose City. A lot of us were hoping that it expands outside of that, but for right now it doesn't seem it's going to be that way. But I'm very happy to hear that something like the underground is happening because it gives us a little bit of a change of scenery. Don't think I have not already seen the reviews of people moaning and complaining, you know, oh, the buildings, the textures on the windows. Girl, it's taking place in a city. Of course it's going to look like that. I think the in-game models and everything to do with the Pokemon, the people, like all of those look so freaking good. I'd say probably some of the best they have ever looked. And not only that, the battles look incredible. But if we're going to talk about the battles, we need to talk about the new Mega Evolutions that got revealed in this trailer. We got the Megas for the Kalos starter Pokemon for Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut. I know there's people out there that were like, oh, it's just Greninja turned upside down, or oh, Chestnut could have been better, oh, I just hate Delphox. But you know what? I think all of them do legitimately look pretty good. I think that all of them have something to like about them. I would say that my personal favorite is my diva, my queen, Delphox. I mean, she is serving witchy realness just in time for the season, just as we're about to hit October. And me and my Delphox, we're gonna sit on the couch drinking pumpkin spice lattes and we're gonna watch Hocus Pocus, okay? And then Chestnut, I'm so happy and overjoyed for Chestnut because it is really not my favorite starter Pokemon out there. Chestnut is not a Pokemon that I would be picking any day of the week as compared to the other starters, but I love its Mega. I love what they did with it. I love this like furry Viking cape that it's got going on. I love all the weaponry that it can now use that's part of its design. I think that this is a very successful job. My least favorite out of the three would be Greninja, but I do think that there is some successful elements to it. I think that Greninja is just someone that a lot of people have such a high standard and appreciation for. Like, it is very, very overrated, Greninja, and I mean that in a good way. Like, Greninja is so good that people just expect a lot from it, and especially when you have something like Ash Greninja, which we don't know where she is. We don't know if she is anywhere to be found. She's the Carmen Sandiego of the Pokemon universe. I don't know where Ash Greninja went. But all of that to say, I think Greninja's held to a high standard, so I think a lot of people maybe were just expecting a little more, but I do think the fact that it's hanging off of a giant water shuriken upside down, it has like the added black elements on its body, I do think it's pretty cool. I think some people just maybe wanted more. I did kind of figure that the Kalos starters were going to be getting Megas at some point, but I wasn't sure if they were going to leave that as a surprise for the game or if they were going to announce the starters, like the actual ones of the game's Mega Evolutions first. But I think if this was really going to be the final trailer for ZA before the game comes out, I think that this was a pretty cool reveal to do for it. Now, that all being said, I do have to acknowledge before the comments scream at me, because I know a lot of people are upset about this, and that apparently they are going to be locked behind some sort of Nintendo Online ranked battle system for the game, and you can't immediately get them as soon as the game comes out, except for Greninja, I think, is going to be the first one available at launch, and then Delphox and Chestnut are coming out later, so you can't immediately use them. But I don't know, I'm not super pressed or upset about it as much as I think some others might be. I do acknowledge it's a little bit annoying that you can't immediately get it, but what Mega Stone have you been able to immediately get through the gameplay? I feel like Mega Stones, some of them are usually pretty held, some of which you can't even get into the post game. So I don't know, I'm not super super hateful towards it, but I do get why some would be frustrated about it, absolutely. And who's to say that that might not change at a later point, or maybe this is just for Legends ZA? I don't know. I mean, some things are not forever. Some things might change and grow and develop, and I don't know, maybe in the next game they'll be a little more available. So just to wrap up my thoughts on this trailer before we dive into the DLC, I think that this game is gearing up, at least in my opinion, to look like one of the best Pokemon games that we are ever going to receive. And I think that that is due to the amount of time that's been spent on this game. It looks good. I think the new battle system is fresh and exciting, and something that Pokemon fans, especially of the anime, like I've spoken about in previous videos, have been waiting to see something like this incorporated into a game with the actual moving animations and feeling like you're in the battle. And Legends Arceus kind of felt like a prototype to this, which is strange to say because I love Legends Arceus. It's still an incredible game, still gonna replay that all the time. I love it, definitely one of my favorites, but I think Legends ZA, just from what I've seen so far, is absolutely gonna be a good game without a single doubt in my mind. And we haven't even seen anything about the story yet. We keep seeing these glimpses of Zygarde and what's gonna be happening and what is going on with Lumiose Tower. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. But we have DLC to talk about, which is insane to say, and I just need to point out for a second as well that I recently posted a video talking about DLC versus actual post games in Pokemon, and I made that video because I wanted to. It was just on the top of my mind. I had zero inclination or idea. I don't have any uncle that works at Nintendo, girl. I genuinely did not think that DLC for ZA, a game that has not come out yet, was going to get announced. And this is another thing I know people are upset about, but yeah, Pokemon fans, we're just upset about everything. Pokemon fans, we have a lot of feelings about a lot of different things. I personally think that the reason that they announced this DLC in the way that they did, in the time that they did, is I think the next Pokemon Direct, or whenever we're going to be getting another piece of Pokemon information or news, whenever that might be, I think the next announcement is going to be something big, and they wanted to announce this DLC now, not only because, you know, they want to make money and hyping up ZA and all that, like that's absolutely a part of it, I'm not denying that, but I do think there is a second reason. I think whatever's coming next is big, and they don't want to distract or take anything away from that next announcement. I think Gen 10 is absolutely coming, and it wasn't mentioned in the Direct, but I think another sign that points to this is the fact that we are getting shinies of Koraidon and Miraidon that are going to be dropped off in codes sometime soon, which I can't wait to receive. As a shiny hunter myself, I can't freaking wait. I'm so excited. I love shiny hunting Pokemon. It's definitely one of the reasons that I play, just aside from a general love for Pokemon, and so I'm always excited at the opportunity to get a shiny legendary or mythical. But you can always tell that a generation is pretty much wrapping up and is over once the shiny box art legendaries come around. It was the same for Zacian and Zamazenta, and so I think that this is them saying that Gen 10 is really on its way and is coming, and the fact that we got DLC for ZA announced so soon and so quick, I think means in the next Direct or whenever it is, we're gonna be hearing about a big, huge project that is likely to be Generation 10. Yes, it's me theorizing. Yes, it's me guessing. I don't know anything for sure. Like I said, I do not have a family member that works at Nintendo, but if I had to guess, that's what I think is happening, and I've seen some others online theorizing the exact same thing and that feel the same way, so I definitely think it is likely. But that's it for the reason I think the DLC was announced. Let's talk about the DLC and the content itself that was included. So we saw a very brief trailer where we saw Hoopa and all of these rings, where we're going to be transported to an alternate version of Lumiose, I'm guessing, with who knows how many Mega Pokemon coming out of this. We may even get a Mega Hoopa, which I would be very interested to see, but I'm also just excited at the fact that we're probably going to get the chance to catch Hoopa, because I've never really gotten to use one aside from Pokemon Unite, which is not a typical Pokemon experience, so I would like the chance to use one in battle, and so the prospect that I might be able to get a Hoopa through this is very exciting. But y'all have been waiting for it. Y'all knew I was going to talk about it. We need to talk about Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y. I was waiting for something like this. We knew that an X and Y form was going to come for some Pokemon, we just didn't know for who. People were anticipating a Mega Charizard Z or a Mega Mewtwo Z, and wondering if we were going to get another X and Y form. Well, girl, here it is. And I think that Raichu is a fantastic Pokemon to give it to. Raichu does not get enough love, and I think Alolan Raichu, though giving it love and appreciation and a spotlight, kind of does take it away, just in the fact that a lot of people love Alolan Raichu more. So it didn't really bring attention to Raichu itself. It kind of just made a new Raichu that a lot of people love even more. So the designs for Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y, I think, are both cute, with Y looking a little more Pikachu Pikachu-like, but I think that that is kind of cute in its own way to make like a smaller version of Raichu with a color scheme of Raichu, but looks a little like Pikachu with a giant lightning bolts on its ears. But my personal favorite and my entire heart goes out to Mega Raichu X. I freaking live for this design. I love this design, and I bet I'm not the first one to feel this way, but in the anime, y'all remember way back when in the anime in the original series in Indigo League, when Ash fought against Lieutenant Surge and Pikachu used its tail like a lightning rod, attaching it to the ground. That's what I'm getting from this design, from the two tails going into the ground, and it gives the whole X and Y, you know, theory of X and Y Pokemon looking like the letters, which is crazy. But I think that it is a very cool design. I really like this one, and if I only had the choice to use one of them, I would easily pick Mega Raichu X, but I think that Y is also pretty nice as well. I don't love Y as much as I love X, but I think they're both pretty good. I do think that people are being a little too critical of these new Mega Pokemon. I think that they are well designed. Do I think that Mega Raichu Y could have been a little more like Raichu and less like Pikachu? Yeah, sure, I could definitely see something like that, but they're not bad. We're out here acting like these Pokemon are trash. They're not. They're not. They don't look like trash. That all being said, I do think it is definitely still wild, no matter what, that the DLC was announced before the game even comes out. Like, girl, let me play it first before we can, you know, move on to a DLC. But at the same time, like, I love Pokemon, and I'm never going to apologize for that. And so for me, hearing that there's going to be more, hearing that there's more content, even if we could guess that a DLC is happening, hearing and confirming that it is happening, and it's something as exciting as getting more and more megas and seeing Hoopa and maybe a new storyline happening, I'm excited, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I love Pokemon, and so seeing that there is more happening is always going to be exciting. Especially if that DLC is going to be the same quality as ZA looks like. It looks like it's going to be good. Pokemon fans were absolutely eating during that Nintendo Direct, and we got so much new information and exciting news for the Pokemon series and franchise that I definitely was not expecting, and I'm so grateful to hear it. Let me know down in the comment section below which of the new Mega Pokemon revealed are your favorite out of the 5 that we got in one Direct. That's insane. Especially when we spent a whole week on Mega Malamar, which was 1, and we just got 5 thrown at us, which is insane. But also let me know what you're excited to see in Pokopia if you're going to be playing that game as well. I, for one, am very excited to see how many Pokemon and which Pokemon are going to be included in the game. I don't know if they're going to go all the way to Generation 9, but I really would love to live with my boy Quaxly. That at this point is becoming the mascot of this channel because I love Quaxly. That's my child. I love Quaxly, and so I want Quaxly to be there. But as always, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it and talking about Pokemon like I always do. And I'll see everybody in the next one. We're about to be reaching a very exciting time for Pokemon. I mean, we're getting a new game next month. Like, we all need to sit with that for a second. We're getting a new game. I'm so hyped!